Hey everyone, Simon Thompson here, aka Pinball Wizard 192, in another vlog review, this time on the last and third Marvel movie of 2015, The Fantastic Four. You probably know how I feel about this movie due to my body language and expressions. I really hate this movie. It is that horrible. Not only it's the worst, one of the worst movies of 2015 so far. It is the worst, one of the worst comic book movies that I've ever witnessed. Just to again, I'm going to be delving into spoilers from this movie, but if you've seen the trailers, you probably know how the story goes. You know, these four people, Johnny Storm, Susan Storm, Ben Grimm, Reed Richards, they get their powers, they go up against Doctor Doom, aka Victor Von Doom, they defeat Doctor Doom, they get their headquarters, they call themselves Fantastic Four, and that's it. That's the whole movie in a nutshell. Right, so before I get down to what I really didn't like in this movie, I just want to say I made a video some time ago with a friend of mine, you know, about our thoughts, you know, on the cast for this movie. You know, we just like thought we just thought that the actors that were chosen for these four characters that we know from the Fantastic Four comics weren't capable enough in acting them. We felt like they won't capture their personality or anything. But so like we've like just made our own choices of actors that could probably be more better than them. But right now, in all honesty, I take that all back. I think these actors would have done great. I'm not joking. I think these actors who are chosen for this movie are quite good. You know, Miles Teller as Reed Richards. You know, he would have done great in this movie. You know, since he did brilliant in one of the best movies of 2014 called Whiplash, which unfortunately I haven't seen yet, but I will soon. And there's also Michael B. Jordan, who I know. No, I'll get down to it. Not yet. There's also Kate Merritt as Susan Storm, who I think is a bit more better than Jessica Alba from the previous Fantastic Four movies that are done by Tim Story. And there's also Jamie Bell as Ben Grimm, who to be honest, he's a great actor. You know, who I know him from Billy Elliot, The Adventures of Tintin. Yeah. I would have probably gone with someone else, but at least he gives it all his best. The only problem it's not that their acting sucks. Their acting is great, okay? It's the writing that ruined the characters. Not the actors, the characters that they played. The writing is, the worst I've ever seen and heard of. It's like not much development in the characters. It's not even like much interaction between them, and especially with Susan and Johnny Storm, who are brother and sister. I know, it's really insulting. There was so much potential in this movie, you know, but it was all wasted, you know, and gone thrown out of the window when I've seen like the worst ending that I've ever experienced. It's just, ugh. And the director, you know, Josh Trank, it is a fantastic choice, because he like did one of the only found footage movies that I enjoyed chronicle, you know, and it also starred Michael B. Jordan in it. Oh yeah, right, so yeah, Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, Michael B. Jordan is Johnny Storm's movie, and I did mention that I wasn't like a big fan of the, you know, of the you know, since when I mentioned like in the video when I was commenting about, you know, the cast for the for this cast in this Fantastic Four movie, you know, that the Human Torch is white in the comics, he's not supposed to be black, but what I have learned is that I should never judge a person. I should not judge a person by his colour, but by his acting. Michael B. Jordan is a great actor. So I'm just going to say this. If Michael B. Jordan, if you think of what I said before is rude, I really, really apologise of what I commented about you. I really don't hate you. I think you are brilliant. You did a great job in Chronicle, and I hope you do great stuff in upcoming projects. You really do deserve better, man. You really do. It's like, the content of the performance in this movie is done wrong. Chronicle showed how, you know, Michael B. Jordan should play Johnny Storm, but in this he acts, you know, very angsty. He's just much of an outcast, and it doesn't fit the character at all. Right, so I'll get down to the plot anyway. This won't be long anyway. When it starts off like with Reed Richards and created this like teleporter that could teleporting machine that could teleport anything to an alternate dimension. When Dr. Franklin Storm, who is I can't remember the name of the actor that played him, but he did an amazing job and he has a great voice. Hired him, to help with him and Susan Storm, and Johnny Storm comes in, because he's a mechanic and he's reckless as well, like in the comics. They join him, at the Baxter Foundation. The Franklin Stone was in charge of the Baxter Foundation, and they built this teleportation, but they did it with the help of Victor Von Doom, and oh my god. I just gotta say, the guy who plays this, Victor Von Doom, Toby Kebbell is a great actor, and he played a great villainous role in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Cobra, if you remember. But in this movie just shows, Victor Von Doom, aka Doctor Doom, as pathetic representation of a great comic book villain. And he just comes off as a creepy, stalking, hippie dick mule. Oh, sorry, did I forget to mention that the only reason that he joined with, in helping Reed Richards, Dr. Franklin Storm, and Susan Storm in creating a teleporting machine, to go to an alternate dimension. The reason is that he's in love with Susan. Yeah. He has a crush on Susan Storm. Never heard that before in the comics. Oh, jeez. And right, let's carry on. They've done this they've done this with this machine. So like these four guys, including Ben Grimm, so these four guys, they go in this machine. Ben Grimm came along with Johnny Storm, Reed Richards, and Victor Von Doom. Let's go to this alternate dimension called Planet Zero. That's what it's called in the movie. It's not even called, even though it looks like, it's kind of other people saying it's the negative zone, but I'm not even calling that. Victor Von Doom just tried to get some samples, but unfortunately it kind of like the Planet Zero reacts itself, so they try to get out of there. You know, but Victor Von Doom, it is kind of left behind. Well, if actually Reed Richards tried to save him, but unfortunately Doctor Doom assumingly falls to his death. The other guys got back to the teleportation machine. But they got affected by the green substance, as well as Susan Storm, who find out the other guys who helps the guys in teleporting back. She gets affected by it for somehow she gets affected by it, and at that point it fades to black, and it all goes to 1 year later when they are taken in by the military. So now that they are captured, Reed Richards managed to escape, and this is the most insulting part. He sees Ben Grimm, you know, all alone, and he's asking for when he sees Richards, he's asking for help, you know. But then this is the most part I really hate. Reed Richards abandoned Susan Storm, Johnny Storm, and his best friend Ben Grimm. Reed Richards, the most intelligent character in the Marvel comic book universe, abandoned his friends from the military. It's just pathetic. Why would he do that? I know he's scared and he's in pain, you know, since he can't know how to control his powers and all that. You know, since his arms and legs are too long. And he would find a way, he would find a possible way to free them. And this is also, it's like insulting. This is not only insulting the character, it's insulting the trademark, the entire basis of these characters. If you don't know what I mean, I'll tell it out to you. Just bear with me. Right. According to, if you remember this guy, according to the comic book writer and artist John Byrne, I think it's called John Byrne, from the book from the John Byrne's Fantastic Four, the World's Greatest Family Magazine, back issue by Tom Powers, and I quote, he re-emphasized the family dynamic which he felt the series had drifted away from after the lead family, and not dysfunctional family. Family is the central key element to the Fantastic Four. It is an absolute vital dynamic between the characters. So, if you understand what I mean, but I'll probably just say it anyway, the Fantastic Four are Marvel's first family! They're not supposed to be dysfunctional! The way they act together with their powers and how they deal with them and act as a team is how they come out as a family. And how they come, you know, they work strong together to defeat their enemies. And if you don't like the previous Fantastic Four movies, like, you know, the Tim Story ones, at least they got that right! Ugh. Okay. So, Reed Richards has escaped. The guy who's in charge of, you know, the other three, you know, Johnny Storm, Susan Storm, you know, they practice their abilities, and, you know, they're being used by the military. Like the Thing, you know, he just goes with it. Johnny Storm, he kind of enjoys it, but Franklin Storm, his father, he's not really liking what his son, what his son loves doing. So yeah. So later on, the Thing captures Miles Teller, Reed Richards, and they kind of, you know, Reed Richards says, I'm just trying to fix my friends, and Ben Grimm, aka The Thing, just says, you can't fix this, no you can't, look at me, you left me, like this. And no shit, my friend. I know, that really is a terrible move, Reed Richards. Again, I'm not going against Miles Teller, it is the writing that really ruined this movie. It's the writing. Okay, so this guy who's in charge of all of the military, Dr. Harvey Allen, aka Moan, who's played by the guy who'd played the leader, I think it's Tim, I don't know the leader's name, he was in The Incredible Hulk, and you know, that is part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and now he's in this movie. He shouldn't be in it at all. And he really did. I know the actor's name, Tim Blake Nelson, who plays, you know, Dr. Harvey Allen. He deserves more better than this. Alright, so they want the reason why they want to capture Reed Richards is because he wants him to create to help with a teleportation device, you know, like finish with it, so that they can go to the alternate dimension, Planet Zero, and you know, just get some of the green stuff so they can make more out of what the Fantastic Four are already made of. Yeah. And so, while some people were in the alternate dimension, they found Victor Von Doom, who's now alive. Who's alive for some reason. Well, yeah, it's the green substance from Planet Zero, so yeah, that affected him. So now, when Harvey Allen questions Victor Von Doom how he survived and how they can like control, you know, the green substance from you know, the energy from Planet Zero, Victor Von Doom says you can't control it, and then right at that moment, feeling that he's betrayed somehow by his friends and he's clearly insane, he kills Dr. Harvey Allen, all the innocent people in the military base, and he decides to destroy the world by having the alternate dimension colliding with the Earth that they're in this movie. You know, he just want to take over. You know, he just want to collide. He just want the alternate dimension that he got his powers from collide with Earth. You know, destroy it because reasons. Yeah, there's not much explanation why. Really, he's a villain. He's just evil now. Ugh. So, yeah, the Fantastic Four, you know, they go into the dimension, they defeat, they you know, they fight one by one, and then they just fight, they finally realize that they need to work together, so, yeah, and then the Thing just comes in, it's clobbering time, and he just punches Doctor Doom into, like, this portal, and I'm just gonna believe he's dead now. I don't care if he's gonna come back for the sequel. I'm just confirming myself that he's gone. He's dead. All right. So the Fantastic Four got back in time, you know, and they got with the military. You know, talked to the military. You know, that they deserve better working on their own. You know, and not with them. So yeah, they got their facility, and it's not really at the back of the building, it's just somewhere out of forest. I don't know why. So, yeah, and they like rip off the ending of the Avengers Age of Ultron, you know, when Captain America was almost gonna say like the famous Avengers call. You know, Reed Richards like trying to think of a name, you know, for the Fantastic Four, but he didn't actually say it. It just comes up at the end, and that's it. That's it. It's just it's really not the greatest movie I've ever seen. I'll just check if there's anything else to say. No, not really. Well, yeah, if the effects in this movie are horrendous, though there are bits good in it, like the CG motion capture of The Thing, you know, with Jamie Bell. It looks okay, but it doesn't look as it doesn't look plausible as the effects on the Hulk from the Avengers movies. And also, why is he naked? Put on some shorts for him, for crying out loud. We don't even want to, we're not even bothered to see Thing, okay? Oh. And Doom, oh my God. Doom, he looks ugly. He looks like a walking carbonite sculpture mixed with green kryptonite. I know that doesn't make much sense, but that's how I feel it looks like. Oh, right? And how the hell could? And also, there's like this. How the hell can Reed change his face with his stretching abilities? You know, when he was on the run, he was disguising himself. He like can change his face completely different, and it's just it's not that really good, and it's creepy. It reminds me of when, you know, in Jim Carrey's A Christmas Carol, you know, from 2009, you know, when he was with the Ghost of Christmas Past, you know, the face keeps changing and it's really scary. I don't know how he could do that. That wasn't even shown in the comics. I know that I never like read any comics or like either the Ultimate Fantastic Four comics that this movie was based on, but I'm pretty sure that Reed Richards never did that. So yeah, this was a great movie. It's terrible. It doesn't capture the charm of the comics. The pacing is done wrong. There was not much attention to detail on how these heroes come to grip with their powers. Oh, and the previous movies, this was like the fourth attempt in making a good Fantastic Four movie. To be honest, I think I'd probably prefer watching the previous Fantastic Four movies, even the Roger Corman version. I am dead serious. Yes, I've said it. Even the Roger Corman version have much depth into how the characters get to grip with their powers. And even as well as, you know, as well as the Tim Story Fantastic Four movies, even though they're not really good, at least they were fun, guilty pleasures. They know how to do the Fantastic Four right, for the most part. But this, it really doesn't. It does not deserve to be called Fantastic Four. It's just, you know, the title is called Fan-4-Stick. You know, I really hate when they put the number in the middle of the title, like Escape to Madagascar, Escape to Africa, although that was a decent movie. Take Freeing, Transformers, you know, Age of Extinction. So the final so I'm only, before I get to my final fact, before I finish this off, I just want to say one thing, two more things. Kate Mara, Miles Teller, Michael B. Jordan, Jamie Bell, I am really, really sorry that you have to go through this. I am so sorry that you have to be used as tools for this movie by Fox, and that it ended up as a gigantic box office bomb. And you are great actors. I really love you guys. You did great things in previous years. Kate Mara, you did great in you did good in House of Cards. Michael B. Jordan, you were excellent in Chronicle. Jamie Bell, you were always good. You know, in other movies that I've seen, that I already mentioned. Miles Teller, I'll be sure to see Whiplash, so I'll know how you are great in that. You guys, you really deserve much more fantastic more than this. Really. And Fox, just let it go. Just stop. Stop. Really, just stop messing with this franchise. Just let the Marvel Studios have it so they can fix it. Let the professionals do it. You can keep the X-Men for all I care because you are doing it good. Because you're doing it good so far. Just keep to that. Stop messing with the Fantastic Four and let the Marvel Cinematic Universe fix it. Final verdict, 2 out of 10. So, I hope you enjoy this, guys. Be sure to comment, subscribe, check out my other videos. I will be back with more reviews of next movies that will come out in 2016. I hope they'll be much more better than this. I guarantee.